everybody, welcome back. Yes, I do have on a night shirt or nightgown. Be glad that there is some fabric covering my body right now. So my bestie Jessa and I decided that we are going to do a video using Danessa Myricks products, as many of her products as we can use. Before I go on, I just want to say, I think Danessa and I might be cousins. The reason I say that is because I swear Danessa looks like she has a Caribbean heritage. Because she looks like people in my family. I kid you not. Not only that, we wear the same color in the blurring balm and all these other things. And I just feel like I won't be surprised if she show up to the family reunion next year. So we're going to use the products that my cousin came out with. So I have quite a few of her products. I've got some of the Color Fix. Did I order? No, I didn't order the other ones. That's okay. Got some of the Color Fix. I also have the blurring balm, and I have the blurring blush, and I have the Duet balm, which I rarely use, so I want to pull this out and use it more. I also have, I used to have her bronzer, but I panned that completely, so I am working on panning her contour balm. What else? I also have this Dewy Cheek and Lip palette from my friend and former supervisee. I have her brush, and I have her Lightwork Volume 3. I like all of the shades except for this one because it's kind of got a different texture, a glittery texture. Words. And then the most recent thing, oh wait. I have her Line Work eyeliner. Forgot about that. And then the most recent thing is her Groundwork palette. It is the Groundwork palette Defining Neutrals. It is a palette for eyes, brows, face, and oh, I thought it said life, but it says lips. I was about to say yes, Danessa. So here is the palette. The packaging is really nice. It's super like luxurious. And then once you open the palette, you do have this nice mirror here. And here are the shades. You can see that I've dipped into it already. So, excuse me. The cool and different thing about this palette is that you've got a pomade on one side and then you've got a powder on the other. So like, it's like so smooth. This is the pomade. And then here is the corresponding powder. And these are removable. So you can take the pans out, and they do have the names on the back, which I really appreciate. And you can move things around to suit your needs. So I'm going to use this as much as I can. That's what we're supposed to do. I'm pretty sure I can use it for contour, bronzer, lip liner, eyeliner. I might try it for brows, but I don't like a pomade and stuff for brows. I just prefer a pencil. Yeah, so I'm going to use that, and what you also should do is check out Jessa's video. I will link her channel in my description box because she has a medium skin tone and I have a deep or dark skin tone depending on the brand. So you'll be able to see it on different skin tones. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I will also talk about the news. Now, one thing, since Danessa's like her Lightwork Volume 3 palette, the shades are all like multi-chrome and stuff like that. What I have found, and hopefully you try this out if you haven't, is that if you put down a black base, it gives more like boom pow to the shade. It just intensifies it a little bit more. Her shades are already intense, so the black base just takes it up a couple notches. So sometimes I will use her Color Fix Matte in Blackout. But today I am going to use the Groundwork palette. I'm going to use the pomade, the Tourmaline pomade. Okay, girl, so let's go ahead and let me tell you these ridiculous stories. So the first couple stories I'm going to talk about have to do with travel, but like ground travel. So the first one is in Nebraska. Now, have you ever been to Nebraska? I've been to Nebraska once. I went for a grad school interview. So, you know, when you apply and they'll invite you for an interview, and then based on the interview, they'll decide if you're admitted or not, or whatever. So one of my first ones was Nebraska. So when I tell you, so it was so weird, like going to the Midwest from California. It, like, I didn't even, I was like, what is Nebraska? What is Missouri? Where are these places? Iowa? I don't understand. So, the first time I ever saw ice on the ground was when I got off the plane in Nebraska. I was like, what is that? And somebody was like, that's ice. What you mean there's, what you mean? I'm used to ice in a glass, not on the ground. So that was the first, I didn't know that could happen, girl. I did not know. I'm used to the California, Los Angeles sunshine, you know, or Los Angeles, California. I'm used to the 70 degrees. I ain't never in my life seen ice on the ground. But anyway, so this happened in Nebraska, not far from Omaha in Nebraska. And several people called like the highway patrol, and they were like, there's a cow in a car. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? What do you think it means? So the highway patrol goes out and they're like, WTF. They're like expecting to see like a baby calf or something. No big deal. Like maybe a farmer doing farming stuff and moving this cow in his car for some reason. But no. When I tell you, they get to this man, I think his name is Lee, and he has a fully grown bull in the car. Now you might be asking, how he get a bull in the car? I'm gonna tell you. What shade do we want to go in with? I feel drawn to this one. I also kind of feel drawn to this one. Let's use this one. I don't know if I've used this one as much. So home dude, you know, he's just minding his business, going down the street with his bull. And when I tell you this bull, have I seen a bull in person? I don't even know. But this bull is huge, okay? What are these? Like their antlers, their horns, like they are the size of my body. They are big, okay? So home dude is just driving down the street. Now what he had to do, he has a Crown Vic. Y'all like those kind of cars, right? He has a Crown Vic. What he did to this car, isn't that like a cool, like old school car? I think what he did to this car is he took out half of the windshield. So he took out the passenger side windshield. He also took out part of the roof. And then he took out the passenger side door and installed like a cattle gate. I'm gonna let you sit with that for a second. I'm just let you sit with it. Yeah. So, honey, he renovated his car to fit his bull. Literally his bull. Because that's what I will be telling him. This is bull, okay? With your bull. And the bull is named Howdy Doody. He could have at least did Bullwinkle to make it funny. But his name is Howdy Doody. And he was just taking the bull out for his weekly like walk and you know, like his weekly like out to dinner thing where he could eat some grass and stuff. But he gets pulled over and the highway patrol is like, girl, what are you doing? Why do you have this bull up in the car? I imagine, girl, could you imagine that dash cam? The dash cam and the body cam. I wouldn't believe it until they brought it to the station and we downloaded it and watched it together. Because I mean, like, you late because you pull over a bull in a car? Yeah, right. Come on. I mean, it's Nebraska. I don't know if that is common or not. I I'm not, like, I think I'd be a little bit more surprised if it was like Chicago or something, or like New York. Like, why? So I feel like maybe it's not that out of place in Nebraska, but I also think that not many people are doing that. You know what I mean? So I guess they went ahead, like the news stations and stuff, you know, they jumped on that. You know, they jumped on that like a carnivore on a snake or a steak. So his wife, her name is Rhonda. Rhonda decided that she was going to go ahead and talk about her husband and let people know what the deal is. Now, Rhonda was like, you know, I'm going to go ahead back in this. He's had the bull, howdy doody for short. He's had Duty for a while, and you know, he likes to take him out, give him a little drive and everything, so he can like go out to eat for a little bit, just see the town. And I think he was like not near his hometown, because I'm guessing like the hometown folk are like, yeah, that's just Lee. So these new folk, they're like, what? I'm calling the police. And initially, I thought it must be a stuffed cow, right? Just like maybe like a huge stuffed teddy bear cow that you're like lugging around to take to like a children's hospital or something. Like, I really didn't understand until they were like even when I looked at the pictures, I was like, that's not real. But I ain't never seen a bull in my life, I don't think. I didn't know how big these things were. It's as big as the Crown Vic, bigger. So they pull him over and they give him a warning, because what ticket do you give this person? Illegal transportation of a farm animal? Bull napping? Like, what do you call it? How do I write this ticket, sir? I don't even know. So I'm just gonna give you a warning. So home dude gave him a warning and was like, get out of town, girl. You can't stay up in here, go home. So his wife is doing all these little interviews, and she's like, Duty is part of the family, and you know, my husband loves it. I don't know if it's I don't know. Aren't bulls boys, male? I don't know. I don't know nothing about farm stuff. I'm a city girl. So she's just like doing these interviews. I don't think they've interviewed him. I don't know that I would want to. I don't know that I would want to. And she's like, he's done a lot of like renovation and stuff of his car. Like I said, so he had to take out half the windshield. So when you look at the car, all you have is the part for the driver, the windshield part for the driver, and then the door for the driver. And like, so it's like almost like two cars. You have this one side for the driver. You have his windshield, steering wheel, seat, back seat, everything. And on the other side, you have the side for the bull. So you have no windshield or roof, because he has a big head, right, with the horns. So he has to like have some room. And then you don't have like the back, because he has to fit his body in there. And then you don't have the door, because that's not gonna be good. So because his horn probably gonna go through the door. Like, I guess you'd have to have the window rolled down all the time. So he has a little cattle door that apparently he's tied to. What I don't understand, you know what? There are quite a few things that I don't understand about this. Maybe the bull is like domesticated or something. Is that why it's not popping out the car? Like, the bull is just chilling. The bull is like, I'm going to go for a ride. Like, I just don't... How do you keep that bull, like, tame? It has to be domesticated. But it makes me think, remember, like, how all these people back in the day, they still do it, but they would be, like, adopting, like, tigers and bears and chimpanzees to, like, have as pets. And remember that one where the lady had her chimpanzee for a long time? What was his name? I don't even remember. Y'all remember? And he seemed all fine. And then one day, he, like, listen, they would have him at the table for dinner. I think he used to drink a little bit of wine. They would take him out, like this man did, take him out into town. And he would cause problems, right? He would cause a little bit of problem. There are several times where he was just like going crazy up in the streets. Now, they were at home once, and home dude, the chimpanzee, he attacked the owner, the woman. He also attacked her friend and just like ripped off half her face. The lady lived, but the woman, you can hear the 911 call. She's calling and she's like, my chimp is attacking my friend. Oh my God, get them out here. Get people out there. Bring the guns. And it's terrible. I would not be her friend no more. Like, girl, I'm not your friend no more because your animal that you shouldn't have almost took my life. But she was like, because I think he like turned on her too, because he is a wild animal. People be doing some stupid stuff. So she was like, bring the guns. You have to shoot him. You have to shoot him. And it's just like, girl, people done told you don't be having this wild animal up in your house, okay? This is not a little domesticated cat or dog. This is a full-on animal that is supposed to be in the wild. But you got him up in your house sleeping in the bed and drinking wine. So, what was I talking about? Oh, I'm going in with shade 9 of the Blurring Balm. I'm going to leave the eyes for right now. So, Rhonda is talking to the radio people, the news people, and she's like, yeah, he's had it for a while. You know, he really enjoys it. They're besties. They are best friends. Lee and Doody. They are best friends. And she's like, he has spent so much money on renovating the car and all kinds of stuff. She was like, I could have had a brand new kitchen by now. Rhonda, I understand supporting your partner, girl. Understood. But I know what you're not gonna do. What you're not gonna do is, like, I know one thing for certain and two things for sure. You are not going to use the money that I could use for a new kitchen, new countertops, new tiles, new like sink, put a little island in. I know what you're not going to do is spend that money on this bull. Literally on this bullshit. That's what you're not going to do. I know you're not. I know you're not. I know you're not. I know. Right, Rose? I know. That's not what he did. But Rhonda is like, he's part of the family. Okay, girl. Okay, Rhonda, I can't tell you nothing, girl. That is your husband. That is your marriage, all right? Far be it from me to tell you what to do with your husband. I'm just saying if he was my husband, it'd be a different situation. So let's move on from Lee in Nebraska. I wonder if I can use any of these as like concealer. I feel like the best one would be this shade here. So let's try it. Let's give it a go. So now we're gonna move on to Florida because why not? Because why not? It's always Florida. It's always Florida, right? Always and forever. Always Florida. So, no, I don't think, no, this is too ashy, right? Let's try, I feel like these shades are too cool for concealer. Oh, wait. This might be a little bit better. This shade here, this is Core. So I think this has more of a color correcting kind of thing going on. That's not bad, right? So let's move on to Florida. Every news story is always starting with Florida man, right? They messing with gators. They're just doing all kinds of stuff. And my friend Liz sent me this one. So, you know, Lee was driving around with his bull. This man, I don't remember his name, he was attempting to go from Florida to London via the Atlantic Ocean in a human-sized hamster wheel. Okay. Yeah. A human-sized hamster wheel. He made it himself. I think he called it like a hydropod vessel. So some mariners, some people just out on, you know, out in the sea, minding their own business and starting to mind this man's business. They called the Coast Guard. And they're like, there's like this thing. There's a thing like in the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean. It's not a boat. It's not a boat. It's not a ship. It's not a plane. It's like a hamster wheel. Like, you guys might want to check that out. So they contact the dude and they're like, sir, that's not a registered vehicle and it's not manifestly sound for you to be traveling, running your behind across the Atlantic Ocean to get from Florida to London. Like, maybe, you know what? I bet you that might be cheaper than a flight. So on one hand, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you for doing that. Because it sounds like it might be cheaper than a flight. And so they were like, sir, get off that ocean. Get off that ocean, please. Now, and he's a marathon runner. I think he's like an ultra marathon runner. That's the long ones. Like, I've only done the 26.2, but these ultra folk, they be doing like 50 miles. I ain't got time for that. I actually like that. I like that as like a concealer. Like, it's a little brightening, but it's not like, you know what I mean? I enjoy that. Okay. So far, what have we used? We've used tourmaline as a base, and we have used core for under the eyes. We did try Mirage, and that was just too ashy and cool for under the eyes. But I really like this girl. Now, I don't have a setting powder from Danessa. I believe she does have one, but I'm going to go in with the Pat McGrath one. They're probably more likely to be related than me, huh? So they're like, sir, you've got to get off of the seas right now. You've got to get off the ocean. And he doesn't want to. He said, nah, I ain't gonna do it. So I think it took them like 5 days to get this man up off the ocean. And the thing is, so Lee with the bull, we think he's just a little quirky, right? Lee don't have nothing to do in his retired years. He just is trying to have a good old time with his bull and his wife Rhonda. But this man, the hamster wheel man, it seems like he does have some mental health challenges, because he was trying to hurt himself in different ways. He didn't want to get off that boat. Like, he seems like there's something going on. And you know what? I admire him for being able to create a hamster wheel that can be on the water. That takes some ingenuity. But no. We're not gonna do that. Okay, let's use, let me try to use this shade here as a bronzer. What I want to do is grab, so this is shade 10 in the Blurring Balm, and I bought this to use as a bronzer. So I want to see how close. They look pretty close, right? I think so. Okay, so let's give that a try. Okay, so speaking of travel, y'all know so much is going on these airplanes. Like, did it used to be like this and we just weren't aware, or like, is this all new stuff? Because I don't know. Okay, the only thing about these is that the pans are small, so you definitely have to have the right brush, but I really want to use her brush, so I'm gonna try to get in there. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Let me see. I know I have a Sonia G brush that will work well. Yeah. So this is the classic base. That goes in much better. So there is, or was, this looks good, I think it was United flight that had to turn around. And you know, there have been several stories of having to turn around, or passengers being ridiculous. Like there was this one passenger who was yelling and screaming because there was a crying baby on the flight. Understandably, y'all, that sometimes is super annoying, but for parents, they're also agitated and nervous, right? Because their baby is just loud and not enjoying itself and blah, blah, blah. This man was so bothered by it that when they landed, I don't remember if they had to turn around, but he refused to get out his seat. So, sir, you caused the ruckus up in here talking about the baby crying, and now you don't want to get up out your seat? You don't make no sense to me. Anyway, there was this recent story about this flight having to turn around, because unfortunately, like, some people are thinking this is funny, and it's not. What's it called? What am I saying? A passenger went to use the restroom, and unfortunately, they experienced, like, what seems to be, like, explosive diarrhea. And again, unfortunately, you know, those some little lavatories, right? Those some little lavatories. I struggle to get in there with my boobs. Like, I feel like I have to move my boobs over and, like, scooch into the place. And, like, it's, you know, there's not much room in there. So instead of the substances staying in the bathroom, they started to come down the aisle. And the flight attendants can't deal with that. They don't know what to do, right? That's not within their purview. Like, they can handle, like, regular illnesses on the plane, but there are some things where it's just like, So the pilot decided that this was a biohazard and that they have to return to the airport, and everybody got off, and the cleaning crew came in, they pulled up the carpet, they put down new carpet and everything, cleaned up the place. And I believe the, like, medical professionals met the plane when it landed and took the passenger away and everything. So this is shade 11 in the Blurring Balm, and this is what I have used for contour. So let's see. So we used this one for bronzer. I think we can use this one for contour, right? Yeah, I think so, y'all. I think so. So some people posted about this on social media, and we're going to get into all the social media stuff. People posted about this on social media, and I'm just like, that is so humiliating. Like, they didn't say who the person is, right? They didn't, because hopefully they don't know. Hopefully they don't know who the passenger is. But could you imagine just how humiliating that would be? How humiliating. First of all, your stomach ain't right? Because you have diarrhea. So you just not feeling good. I don't know anybody who has diarrhea that feels good, right? So you just already not feeling good. And then you look on social media and all your is literally on social media. I just feel like people put too much stuff on social media. Stop putting, and especially when it's not about you. I don't like all these things where people are, like, filming other people and then putting it on social media. Like, that is without consent. I'm not okay with that. I feel so terrible for this person. I feel so terrible for them. I am so glad that we don't know who it is. I hope we never know who it is, because we don't need to be in that person's business like that. We don't. And I'm like, all the people who went ahead and posted about it, I think you're full of That's what it is. You don't have nothing better to do with your time, your energy, and your mobile minutes but post about somebody and talking about them. What if it was you? What if it was you? What if it was a family member of yours? You wouldn't like that, would you? That upsets me. That makes me upset, okay? I'm going to go in with... There's thunder rumbling. Rosé and Brunch, which is one of the blushes. So let's move on from travel. No, wait a minute. There's another one. So who was it? We were talking, a few of us have been talking about cruises and stuff. Some people are like, I'm never going on a cruise. And after these couple of stories, I kind of understand why I would think 2 or 3 times before going on another one. So far in the news, there have been 2 different stories I've heard about passengers, 2 or 3, girl, it might be 3, passengers falling off the boat, off the ship. Now, I don't know how this happened. I'm not sure. But it's happened. I don't know if these people are drunk across like the Lido deck, or, you know, they laugh hard and fall over the railing. One lady they were able to save. Thank the Jesus Lord. They were able to save her. I'm using her brush, Danessa's brush. Ooh, it's a lot. They were able to save the other ones. They haven't, and they are suspending the search. So I get it, y'all. I mean, I'm gonna probably still go on a cruise because, like, the likelihood of falling overboard, I think is slim. Don't walk near the railings. Don't walk near the railings. Stay behind in the middle of the ship. Stay in the middle. Don't go on the balcony. Stay in the middle. You should be good to go. What is that on there? So the other thing was this ship, they what is it? Ported? No, that's not it. They took port. They did port. They stopped port. They were at port. And I guess these people got off and they were having a good old time and wherever they ported. So, you know, when you're on a cruise, you are told what time you need to be back on the ship. You are told what time. Don't go too far because it's gonna be a problem if you're not back to get on the ship, right? At least that was my understanding when I was on a cruise. I was like, we got to make sure that we're back in the line to get back on the boat. But honey, these 2 people, they were having a good old time and they decided they were not gonna get back to the boat in time. When I tell you that ship left them, that cruise ship left these people. They're over there waving their hands like, come back. And the captain was like, I told you when to be here. They left them. Girl, they left them. And I'm sorry, I don't know that I feel real bad for them because they told you what time to get back. They told you what time to get back. If it was like an accident, like something happened, okay, you know, that's not good. But it just seemed like they were having a good old time and they thought that this ship was going to wait for them. And the ship was like, no. All right, I think I'm going to go in with both of these, maybe the pomade and the powder to do like a wing. Let's see. There was someone on Insta and I really like how he did his wing. I'm going to try it. But he also had them young lids, you know. Not all of us have them young lids. I think that's kind of how he did it. What other stories do I have for y'all? There's one that's kind of sad. Well, no, it's like a PSA. It's like a public service announcement, especially for y'all parents. You need to watch these kids, your kids, and who they hanging out with and what they doing. Girl, there's 2 more stories. There's 2 more stories. Hold on. There's 3 more stories. Okay, so which one am I gonna tell you first? Here's like some family stuff. So Lots of people are doing the 23andMe and DNA stuff. Have you done that? Girl, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to know. If there's a family secret, I don't want to know, okay? If I am actually not related to my family, like unless I have a rich biological family somewhere else, I don't need to know. Let's just stay ignorant. But two families. This one family did the 23andMe. They did that. And they got the results back. It's a mother, a father, and their 2 sons. Now, their first pregnancy, they delivered a healthy baby. When they were trying for their second pregnancy, they were having difficulties, so they did IVF, which is also something that we don't talk enough about. Everybody think IBS is not IBS, girl, it's irritable bowel syndrome. IVF is like a walk in the park. It's not, okay? It's not. Not from my own personal experience, but talking with couples through the process, it's not an easy thing. Anyway, they do IVF, and for their second son, like the first son, it's fine. For their second son, it shows that he has the mom's genes, but not the father's. So your first thought might be, ooh, she must have been doing something else, and that's how he became a person. But no, they've been together since high school, I guess. They've been their only, like for real, they've been the only people they've been with. You know what I mean? So they're like, what? So they sort of marinate on it. They don't immediately tell the son, but at some point, the dad does tell the son. And the son is like, okay, you're still my dad. And the dad was just like so thankful because he's like, this is my son. I don't care if we have the same genetics or not. This is my son. And the son feels the same way. But they also are kind of like, maybe we should find out who his biological father is. So how did they figure it out? Oh, so they looked through the son's like genetic makeup, right? And they were able to find different people, and they did like Facebook searching and all kinds of stuff. And they happened upon someone that they thought might be the biological father. And come to find out, this is the biological father. And they're like, how did this happen? What? How did this happen? Apparently, the 2 couples went to the same IVF clinic, like on the same day, right? Like after each other. So their patient numbers were consecutive. So say my patient number is 1, 2, 3, and then no, that's not right. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and then your patient number is 1, 2, 4. So back to back, like I went in first, you went after me. So they apparently mixed up the sperm sample, and they used it twice. They used it for that family, the 1, 2, 4 family, but somehow they used it for the 1, 2, 3 family. So this man, he has a child through IVF with his wife, and also he has a son with this other woman because of the clinic. And y'all, they were saying this happens more than you think, more often than you think. Like, remember that one story with the nasty doctor who was using his sperm and like fathered like 60 something children or something, and they still finding out? Girl, that's a mess. The thing is, all them children look the same. They all have red hair, and like they look exactly like him. But anyway, when you look at the picture of these families, I swear you can tell what son is not with their bio, right? But anyway, so the guy, the bio dad is having a relationship with the son, and the son is still like, this is my dad also, like the one who raised him. But I'm just like, there was another story of how these people took home the wrong baby. They had the wrong baby for like 3 months. I'm gonna need these people, these hospitals, these clinics. Like, come on. The clinic was like human error. I understand human error, but that's somebody, baby. The other one, there was another one, girl. Where did I put that thing just now? Where did I put the oh. So I'm gonna go in with the powder and use that for lower lash line. So this couple, again, they're like, we are going to do our DNA. You know what they found out? This is a married couple. They've been happily married, young couple. They found out that they are cousins. They are cousins. They wouldn't say how close cousins. They didn't say if it was like how many like people removed, if any, that they are. They didn't say that. They probably are never going to. And people are like, well, are they still together? So they do a TikTok and they're like, yep, we still together. Listen, I don't know how I would deal with that. I don't know. I mean, obviously they didn't know each other or anything, but I swear on everything that is holy, they look alike. They look like family. What does that mean if they have a child? So, yeah, they're cousins. And I was thinking, my crazy family, I don't need none of y'all to be related to me in any other way. We just gonna be blood related. We're not gonna marry each other. Y'all crazy. We all crazy. We don't need to be together. We don't need to continue to mesh the families like that. Let me know what you would do. What would you do? What would you do? You already in love with this person, and then you find out we both gonna be at the family reunion next year. And it's not just because you're my partner. I don't know, y'all. I don't even know. Okay, let me start on the brows. I know, I'm just talking. Hopefully you're still here. The last story I'm gonna tell you, the last story I'm gonna tell you is for y'all parents. Now, there seemed to be an increase of these little like TikTok challenges. Little TikTok challenges. Like, remember years ago, there was the ice bucket challenge, where you throw the bucket of ice on you or whatever. I think that was to bring awareness to, was it ALS, I believe? And then there are all these challenges. There's the, shoot, I don't even remember it, but there's the challenge where I think people would punch you or something and then you'd fall on the ground. Or there was one where they would like try to, yeah, because people were like cracking their heads open and stuff. Anyway, there's a newer one that I don't know a lot of this stuff unless my college students tell me. Let's try this shade here for the brows. I'm not sure I'm gonna like it just because I don't tend to like pomades for my brows, but we'll try it anyway for you. So there's this challenge where there's like a hot chip. There's a hot chip. There's a company that sells this like solo package chip that's supposed to be hella hot. Now, on their website and stuff, they say that it is just for adults. Yeah, because that's going to stop a child. Apparently, the challenge is to eat the hot chip, like, and see how long you can stand the heat without, like, getting water, or I think actually with heat, you're supposed to drink milk. And unfortunately, one young man, I think 14 years old, he passed away doing the challenge. Now, let me understand why. Let me tell you why. Let me understand why. Hold on, let me get the story. One chip challenge on TikTok causes unexpected teen death. This was in Massachusetts, and a teenager died after partaking in a popular social media challenge where you consume a hot pepper chip. So he ate the chip, and then they found him unresponsive and not breathing at his home. They think that it's due to complications of the one chip challenge. Their the autopsy is pending. So the one chip challenge involves eating a corn chip sprinkled with a layer of Carolina Reaper pepper and Naga Viper pepper. The chip manufacturer's website states the peppers are considered some of the spiciest, and they add a warning that they should be kept out of the reach of children and are intended for adult consumption. Now, when have you ever gone to a grocery store or something and you're like, oh, the chips are only for adults? Come on. They're chips. Just like McDonald's is like geared towards children, you know? Like, what? People need to stop doing these daggone challenges because it's not good. It's harmful. It is harmful. Not that, I guess it's not like likely that something will happen, but you are taking a lot of chances, and I bet parents aren't even aware of this stuff. I didn't know it was happening. Oh, I have never heard of the one chip challenge. WTF, y'all? Come on. Stop making these kids do these dumb things that they don't even know. Their brains are not even developed, so they don't really process the, what's it called? The consequences. They don't even know. Also, how are you gonna know that you're gonna eat a hot item of food and not make it out alive? Like, I don't know anyone who would know that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that's not bad. With the that was with the pomade. That's not bad. I still prefer my pencil, but I kind of like it. I'm gonna go over it with this Benefit 24-hour brow thing. And the last thing I'm going to talk about as we wrap up is also a PSA for y'all parents. Because there's another challenge going on. There's a challenge where, let's go in with this as a lip liner. There's a challenge where parents start off with inviting their child to, I'll use the powder side, to cook with them. That seems all nice and fine, right? So it's like they decide to cook a breakfast meal. That seems, yeah, fine. Now, these are like younger kids, right? As the child turns around to start helping to cook, the parent cracks an egg on top of their head. So y'all parents are out here trying to get views by cracking an egg on top of your child's head. Could you imagine you're going in the kitchen and you're like, oh, I'm going to have fun with my parent, and you turn around and this adult cracks an egg on your head. On your head. I don't know why y'all be doing stuff like this. I'm gonna go in with the glaze truffle color fix. I don't know why y'all be doing stuff like this. Why? Why y'all be doing that? I don't even understand. I don't even understand. Not one bit. I don't understand one bit. Traumatizing this poor child because you want to get clicks and views. That's what you're doing. You're going to traumatize this poor child. I'm going to go ahead and with this shade here, just under the brow bone. You're going to traumatize this daggone child because you want to... Because I wouldn't trust nothing that person said anymore. Like, last time I trusted you, you cracked a whole egg on top of my head, on top of my head. Try to get me to cook with you again. No. And maybe I'll go in with this shade for a bit of the inner corner. Okay, let me throw on some mascara and set everything with powder, and I will be right back. So here is the finished look. Let me tell you all of the shades I used in the Groundwork palette. So I used the black pomade to as a base for the eyeshadow from the Lightwork Volume 3. And then I used the powder as a liner. Rose, I know you not. I know you not. And then I use, which one did I use? I use this shade, which is Harvest, as a bronzer. And then I use this shade, Bark, as a contour. And the name of the black shade is Tourmaline. And then I use this shade Core as like an under eye color corrector kind of concealer thing. And I used Sculpted for my brows. And what did I use Mirage for? Did I use Mirage? I think I used Mirage. Yes, I used Mirage for right under my brow. I also used this shade Harvest as a lip liner. So I used almost all of the shades. So I do have a couple more to use. I know I used this one, Sandstone, in a different look that I did earlier in the week. I did put a bit of Desert in with Mirage when I did under the brow bone. I haven't used Chiseled and I haven't used Stone. I think those will probably be ones I use for eyeshadow. So far I used everything, and this is a full face of Danessa Myricks. I think the only thing that is not Danessa Myricks is my mascara. And also just the overall powder I use to set my face, which is the NARS Soft Matte Powder. I honestly didn't even really feel like I needed to set my face. It felt like it was set already with the blurring balm. So, yeah, I like it. Again, I don't think it's a need. And as you can see, I have some of the shades in other products of hers, like the shades 10 and 11 in the blurring balm I can use for bronzer and contour. Yeah, but if you're looking for kind of this all-in-one sculpting thing for your face, I think this is what, to me, it seems like this is a good thing to like sculpt your face. And you can also do some eyeshadow with it. But if you're looking for that, also if you're like a makeup artist, this could be cool. I'm not sure. And I do like that that the pans are magnetic and that they have the names on the back and you can move them around to suit your preferences. So that is it, y'all. Please make sure to head over to my bestie Jessa and her channel. I will be sure to link her channel in the description box. Jessa is awesome. We've been besties for quite a while now, and I think she's amazing. What else? Hopefully some of this was helpful. I also hope that you are continuing to take care of yourself. Let me know about these news stories. So we had the dude with the bull and the dude with the hamster wheel. We also had the flight accident, in-flight accident for the person. What else do we have? We had the people finding out their cousins, and also the family finding out that stuff was switched around and the bio dad is not the dad of the son. Then we had the TikTok challenge and stuff like that. So let me know what you're thinking. Please feel free to send me a story. Just DM me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is in the description box. If you have a story that I want to talk about, girl, or you want me to talk about. So be sure to like the video. Also, please subscribe to the channel if you're feeling like it. And leave me a comment. Tell me what's going on. Tell me a news story. Tell me your reaction. Tell me everything. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.